Did you know? The idea for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory came from the Quaker Oats Company wanting to introduce a new brand of candy. The producer behind the movie, David L. Walper, was already in talks with Quaker Oats about finding a way to introduce a new candy to the world. Mel Stewart, who directed the movie, showed Walper the 1964 novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and he instantly fell in love with it. Walper convinced Quaker Oats to buy the rights to the book and finance a movie solely for the purpose of promoting a new candy called Willy Wonka's Super Scrunch and Peanut Butter Oompas. After the movie was finally released, Quaker Oats began marketing the candy. Several years later, Quaker Oats sold the brand to a company named Sunline, which is now owned by Nestle. Sunline was able to make the brand a resounding success, producing different types of Wonka brand candy. When the film first released, it wasn't a big success. However, the movie took off in the mid-1980s due to repeated television broadcast and home video sales. The movie is called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so that the name would tie in with the real-life Wonka candy brand. The studio producing the film also publicly stated at the time that the title was changed to put emphasis on the eccentric central character of Willy Wonka. However, a 1970 article from the Los Angeles Examiner claimed it was due to increasing pressure from black groups, as the name Charlie was a label used for white men. It also didn't help that the movie was about chocolate, which further angered protesters. Director Mel Stewart confirmed these reports decades after in the film's 2002 making-of book. He also revealed that there were concerns about the Oompa Loompas. They're depicted as African pygmies in the original book illustrations. Stewart decided to give them the distinctive green and orange coloring to avoid controversy. The original book was written by Roald Dahl. Despite being a part of the scriptwriting process, Dahl hated how the film turned out. He specifically hated the casting of Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka and would have preferred comedian Spike Milligan to play the titular character instead. He was also against giving the movie a different name than the book. Dahl believed it put way too much emphasis on Willy Wonka and not on Charlie, which was who the novel was mainly about. He thought the scene with the fizzy lifting drinks was ridiculous as well. What infuriated Dahl the most, however, was the film's deviations from the original Chocolate Factory plot. David Seltzer converted Slugworth, who was a small character in the book, into a Wonka spy just so the movie could have a proper villain. The movie was mostly filmed on location in Bavaria, Germany. This led to controversy and criticism aimed at Walper and Quaker Oats. Members of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees accused both of them for contributing to the problem of runaway productions. The film industry in Hollywood was facing issues with productions moving away from the United States, which damaged the industry, and the union argued that the movie's interior scenes could have been shot in Hollywood. Walper denied these claims, saying that the union was wrong and that less than 65% of the film's scenes were shot inside. Union leaders threatened to picket the film and disrupt its shooting, but it isn't known whether any actions were actually taken. Gene Wilder had a few particular requests before agreeing to play Willy Wonka. One was that Wonka had to pretend to be a cripple. Wilder wanted to fake a limp when first introduced to the audience and the children. When director Mel Stewart asked Wilder why he wanted to do this, he said it was to help give off the feeling that Wonka might always be secretly lying. Wilder said, "When I make my first entrance, I'd like to come out of the door carrying a cane and then walk towards the crowd with a limp. After the crowd sees Willy Wonka is a cripple, they all whisper to themselves and then become deathly quiet. As I walk toward them, my cane sinks into one of the cobblestones I'm walking on and stands straight up by itself, but I keep on walking until I realize that I no longer have my cane. I start to fall forward, and just before I hit the ground, I do a beautiful forward somersault and bounce back up to great applause." Stewart asked Wilder if he'd reject the role if the bit wasn't added, and Wilder's response was simply, "I'm afraid that's the truth." The kids also didn't know that Gene Wilder would emerge with a limp, which the actor also requested. They thought Wilder really had a problem with his leg. Towards the end of the movie, where Charlie is inside Wonka's office for the first time, Charlie's stunned reaction to Wonka yelling at him was also real. The director believed that Charlie's actor, Peter Ostrom, would have a more believable reaction if he was unaware of the oncoming shouting. Wilder desperately wanted to warn Ostrom about the yelling beforehand, as they'd become friends during filming, but the director forbade it. Wilder was also heavily involved with pretty much everything else about the Willy Wonka character, including his physical appearance. During pre-production, Wilder laid out a few changes he wanted to see with Wonka's costume throughout the movie. This includes what type of pants he should wear, the color and cut of his jacket, and the placement of every single pocket on it. For example, Wilder wanted Wonka's hat to be about 2 inches shorter than how it was first presented to the actor. During the chocolate room scene, the kids' reactions were in fact real, as this was the first time they saw the set. The chocolate river was made using real chocolate, water, and cream. The cast recalled that it smelled terrible and spoiled quickly. A number of the plants and objects in the chocolate room were also edible. Wilder said that about a third of the stuff in the room was edible.
I mean, you can eat almost everything.
However, the cup Wilder takes a huge bite out of in this scene was made of wax. Wilder would spit it all out in between takes. And the ear of the gummy bear was the only part of it you could eat, the rest was plastic. Another memorable scene was when everyone is licking the flavored wallpaper. Some parts of the wall were actually covered in jam to help improve the taste. And if you'd like to improve the taste of your own home cooking, you should consider signing up for Blue Apron. Blue Apron is a meal subscription and food delivery service that gives you everything you need to make delicious, chef-designed meals at home. You'll get recipes and farm-fresh ingredients delivered in a refrigerated box right to your doorstep, and there's a large selection of recipes that's updated weekly. All of Blue Apron's meals can be prepared in 40 minutes or less, and it's an easy way to learn how to cook and eat healthy. There's absolutely no commitment. You can skip or cancel the service at any time. Blue Apron have even offered a special deal for Did You Know Movies viewers, where the first 300 people to sign up using the link in the description get 2 free meals on their first order. And if you'd like to hear more of my voice, you can check out my video on the 1989 instructional video Bicycle Safety Camp, the greatest bike safety film you'll ever see.